How much do security guards earn? The following information comes from the Labor Bureau statistics as of May 2022. I want you guys to understand the possibilities, when it comes to being a security guard. I want you guys to meet expectations, understand the reality of the game and the way the wages work, and what type of security guard jobs are out there, how much are they paying. You guys want to be successful? You want to follow this video. Who am I? What am I doing with this channel? My name is Jay Gutierrez. I did security for 6 years in the state of New York. When I lived out there, I got a lot of certification, a lot of licenses, and one of the best certifications I got that I was really proud of earning was I got trained as a security guard instructor. I was going to open up a school. I saved my money. I put in my time. I put in the work, and then the vid happened. It was the end of the world. I had to move my family. I had to transition to Pennsylvania, where I got my Act 235. We're called agents. You might recognize us as armed security. I'm not currently practicing, but I am licensed. And, I spend my money on getting vehicles and buying a house because that was the right thing for my family. Some things are out of our control. So I have this channel to help security guards do better. I want you guys to be professional and proficient. I want you guys to make $50,000. I want you to stay safe and keep training. And the best way you can do all that is by following my channel and content like this. So subscribe if you haven't. All right, let's get into this information. It's a long one, guys. All right, it's a long one. Remember, this is based off of May 2022 information from Labor Bureau statistics. I want you guys to make better decisions so you know how to maneuver better within the security guard field and find better jobs. So, as of May 2022, there was 1,124,890 security guards. The average wage within the United States for security was $17.64 an hour. That comes out to $36,700 a year. Now, we're going to now break that down even more. Remember, this is not state by state. This is the entire country of the United States. I'm not sure they count places like Puerto Rico, just so you know. Now, they can bring it down to like low 10% of security, medium, high 10% of security, right? So at the low 10% of security, like as far as earning, not as, people's worth, they're making $11.55 an hour. That comes out to $24,020 a year. Then above that, you have guards making $13.88 an hour. That's $28,860. If I'm looking down, because I'm looking at the iPad, all right, guys? At the medium, the average security guard in the U.S. is making $16.71. That comes out to $34,750. Above that, they're making $18.96, and that comes out to $39,440 an hour. The top 10% of security guards, they're making $24.69 an hour. That comes out to $51,350. Now we're going to get into the industries. How many of these jobs are out there? How many guards are being employed in these type of fields within security, their hourly wages, as well as their annual earnings? And add some commentary to it. All right, investigation security services. This makes 72.83% of security guard jobs. That's pretty much what you're going to run into when you go on Indeed, right? And the average wage is $16.67. That comes out to $34,660 a year. Then you have general medical and surgical hospitals, right? Hospital security. This makes 0.76% of security guard jobs. They pay an average of $19.83 an hour. That comes out to $41,240 a year. They're not talking about positions here, guys. They're just talking about the average wage. So they're probably putting their managers and supervisors. They're probably putting it all together. Then you have elementary and secondary school security. This makes 0.48% of security. The average wage is $19.96 an hour. That comes out to $41,520. I was a school security. I loved it. My base pay there was $20 an hour. And I became supervisor or lead security, whatever you want to call it. I was getting paid $24.50, and it was good money, good schedule, and I got a lot of training, a lot of benefits, right? So that was a good. And we have central banking security. This is the one you want to look out for, guys. This is good money right here. First of all, this is only 5.62% of security guard jobs. This pays $30.44 an hour. This comes out to $63,310 a year. This is probably armed guards, just so you know. So you want to get that armed guard license. If you could get it, great. If you are scared because you don't have military or law enforcement experience, join auxiliary police if you can. Depending on what you have, they have that, and you volunteer. Got some good reputations there, some good training. Then we have jewelry luggage and other leather good retailers. This is like the Gucci's. All right, Gucci. This makes 0.47% of security guard jobs. They pay an average of $34.94 an hour. This comes out to $72,680. Now, here's the thing: when it comes to these type of high-end retailers, luxury brands, they can quantify the value of security a lot better. So you can say, hey, we stopped $3 million worth of security of theft crime within this establishment. And from there, you get raises and bonuses and you get more acknowledgement. So it's a little bit easier to quantify the value of security. And this is where I think security is actually lacking. They don't know how to make and generate these numbers. And how to, they just don't know how to speak. They know how to protect things. They don't know how to preach. So that was luxury items. Now we have scientific research and development services, the laboratories, detectors laboratories. This makes 0.19% of security guard jobs. They pay $31.26 an hour on average, right? This comes out to $65,020 a year. These type of places for that type of money, and whatever job that pays more than $20 an hour, be prepared to need to have some certifications, just so you know. I know some people as well. Then I already spoke about central banking. Let's go into electric power generation, transmission, and distribution. This makes 1.05% of security guard jobs. It pays an average of $29.97. This comes out to $62,330 a year. That means, plants, power plants, nuclear sites as well, stuff like that. So other heavy and civil engineering construction. This makes 0.07% of security guard jobs. They pay $42.95 an hour. That's $89,330 a year. That is pretty much construction sites, guys. Whether you're watching over heavy equipment, places like New York, you need a special license to watch over that security or building management, which is called a fire life safety director. They make easily $90,000 a year, and they can watch over 3 buildings, and there's a bunch of stuff when it comes to that. But these are the possibilities when it comes to working security. Based on this information, you want to veer yourself towards that route. You want to look for those type of jobs. You want to research these particular zones in security, these companies, put in your resume with a nice cover letter, go old school with them, go into the office, shake some hands, kiss some babies, I don't know. Be like a mayor. Vote for me in security. And, hopefully you get an opportunity for an interview, and then you wow them, and then you get in it, right? You got to be in it to win it. And now you know how much money you can make. But you gotta remember, a bulk of security is just standard security. You're not really specializing in anything, and it pays above minimum wage normally. Based on this information, you get better jobs. Now, we talked about wages. Let's talk about expectations now, right? The harder the job, the most it's supposed to pay. What I mean by hard is how much time you're standing or sitting, how many tasks you have to do, how many scans, how many people you have to observe, right? Are you transporting precious jewelry, anything that's worth of value? Are you in some type of threat? Those jobs should pay more, and because they're harder. And if they're harder jobs, they're going to most likely require more training, more skills, more certifications. There's a bunch of different certifications out there. I'll make another video about that. It's particularly about free certifications as well. You got to think security and any career like a triangle, right? Like a pyramid. When you go to the top of the pyramid, it gets smaller, thinner, and thinner. There's less opportunities for those type of jobs, but they have more prestige because you're more on top. It's like a totem pole, right? You have to see it that way. They're harder to get. Remember, the bulk of security is entry-level security, but that's the average guard. They're not doing anything special to make that 15 or 18 bucks an hour. If you become specialized, if you become skilled and you got the will, you could pay the bills. And you'll start increasing, you start leveling up and going beyond Super Saiyan. Reality check. These jobs are hard to find. That's why I also put the percentage of the job, like how many of these type of jobs are actually out there. And based on this information, you can aim towards a more likely target. Do you live near a casino? Do you live near construction sites? Do you live near power plants? Whatever it is, you might want to get a job doing security maybe towards that area, right? The higher the pay, the more stronger security they might have and the harder the schedules they may have. For example, instead of having 3 security guards, they might just have 2 12-hour shifts. And that's how they roll in that area, because every time they switch security guards around, you're creating a threat for safety there in that particular area. They do that in some federal buildings, right? Keep that in mind. Now, how to break your limits, how to make this money over here, right? Well, there you go, how to make that money, right? Get certifications, network, follow channels like mine, read articles on security and safety, see what type of certifications or licenses you could get for your state that can help you get better jobs. Join the auxiliary police if you don't want to become actual law enforcement. Become a volunteer firefighter, become a volunteer EMT, whatever it is. Get that type of training, get whatever training you can for free, put it on your resume. Get some real actual references with people with rankings, people in good positions where you can be like, yo, I vouch for this guy. He might not be military, he might not be law enforcement, but he was X, Y, and Z with me, and I'm that, and he did what had to be done. He's a serious cat. So that's how you're gonna break your limits. And you want to go beyond Super Saiyan 2 and 3 and want to go to God mode. Save some money, 10% of every paycheck, 20% of every paycheck. Work as much as you can. Save up for 3 to 5 years, like an adult, and start your own security guard company. You know, if not, buy a house like I did. Eventually, you know, you could pull the equity out of the house and you can start, again, your own security guard company. There's a lot of different routes to success in security and in any job you want to talk about, but this channel mainly focuses on security. So, again, if you guys found value in this video, press like, leave a comment down below saying thank you and gracias, or ask me a question about life. Got answers. A wise guy. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you have IG, follow me there at violent_hands. Upload your parts of your work out there. Let's hold each other accountable so we can be fit to fight, hard to hurt, hard to kill. That's it. And that's that. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Ciao. Lo quiero mucho.